Remember when Donald Trump said this?
The Navy's gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft equipment is gone. We're flying wherever we want, Pete. We have nobody even shooting at us.
If nobody's shooting at us, how did they shoot down 2 American planes yesterday? I'll tell you how. This guy's lying to you.
Folks, I didn't even hold y'all for the tease. That was the title of this video, and I gave it to you up front. He said that in April. Here it is, May 19, 2026, and we still in this made-up manufactured war. What's going on, everybody? On today's full Politics of Being Black show, the main story, we've got another white racist attacking their worst nightmare, educated, fine Black woman, Elon Musk, Lupita Nyong'o. We're going to discuss that. More celebrities coming out against Trump. I love it. This time, one of my favorite actors from the MCU, and I am not talking about Mark Ruffalo, has come out. We're going to talk about that. Thoughts on Louis Mangione and the shooting he did. And I might say something that, for if you're a right-wing America, is going to make you pause. But everybody else who understands how to think critically, you'll get what I'm saying. We've got that. Joy Reid and D.L. Hughley, they always got something smart to say. And we're also going to cover Nick Fuentes, devout racist, came out against Chud the Builder. But while he did that, folks, he uplifted Chud while tearing him down in an effort to continue to tear down Black people, folks. You can't make this stuff up. That and so much more. We get kicked off right now.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that full. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
In the building, ladies and gentlemen, with y'all knowing I love it all, feeling all, seeing all powerful, all woke, all DEI, just damn all everything, sexy as hell host. That's me, Lamont Tyson. And I've got a bunch of other great names people call me. They call me the rated R YouTube superstar. They call me Chocolate by the Pound. All kinds of great names. You just choose which ones you want to call me. Anyway, thank you for joining me. How do we do this show? What is the point of this show? This show is to debunk myths put in place by the colonizers who came here and stole this land that was continued on through society by racist, white, rich men to keep people at bay while they pillory the system in true robber baron form. I will have examples of how we debunk this stuff through predetermined videos, and boy, we've got a slate today. But if you haven't done it already, please subscribe. Know that I stock trade live every day at 9:30. So if you want to come see how I'm trading, what I'm trading, you can come check it out. If you want to get in-depth understanding of what I do, there's my link. You can get a one-on-one with me. Let's jump into it first. So Chud the Builder, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have been following this channel the last week, you've seen video after video of how his punk ass, trying to look like a fake ass ravishing Rick Rude, got busted, went to jail, $1.2 million bond because he shot himself. He went Plexico burst and shot his own self. And what did he do? He would go around in Tennessee, a place where they have that stand your ground law, a place where it's just got finished gerrymandering for white people. So he knows he's in good company to get away with the stupid stuff. He would try to antagonize Black people. But one thing he wouldn't do, he wouldn't take his ass to the hood and do it because he know where his bread is buttered. He would just go to local gas stations, places where Black people who, shall I say, have more to lose would hang out at and antagonize him. He met his match last week and got in trouble. Well, folks, the great racist, can't make this stuff up, man. This buffoon right here, who to this day, I don't understand how he still has a platform other than the people who pay him lots of money, believe what he says, enjoys his racism, and for them, selling whatever it is they're selling is better than standing up against racism. Because, I mean, there are a whole lot of great content providers who put out great historical insights, like Ashley, my boy Charles Stabansky. His link is in video description because I'm using some of his B-roll. put out massive good content, can't even get a third of the kind of money this buffoon gets for telling you, number one, he's a racist, telling you, number two, he's a Nazi, and then number three, any chance he gets, he loves to use the word nigger, not with the A, with the R. So let's see how he got MAGA mad, folks, about talking about Chud the Builder. And then I explain to you how even though he said that, he really uplifted Chud and put black people down even further. Take a look.
So I see a lot of people on the timeline defending this behavior saying, yeah, well, we should be able to say the N-word. I don't know. I don't want to be a victim of crime. I don't actually necessarily want to be out in public confronting black people, calling them niggers. Like, I actually don't want to do that. I don't think people should be fired for uttering the word. And I think it's a funny word. I don't think it should be treated like a blasphemy, but let's be honest, it's not a nice thing to say. It's actually not a very nice thing to say. And I don't know that we should actually be out there saying, hey, man, we should be able to go up to black people and start blasting a slur that offends them without expecting them to be offended. Was that really ever the rallying cry? To me, it was more like, stop smoking weed in public, stop driving on the shoulder, talk more quietly, don't be on speakerphone all the time. It's more things like that. So I don't know what creating two obnoxious underclasses of victims, I don't know what that does for anybody. I don't know that lowering ourselves to their level is actually the solution. So before, we had an underclass of offensive, inconsiderate people breaking laws, not paying their credit card off, getting in trouble with the law, bothering everybody. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to become an obnoxious, inconsiderate underclass of permanent victims, getting in trouble with the law, having, you know what I'm saying? Like, at a certain point, we need to choose to rise above all of it. We have to choose to be better. We have to choose to be better than that, better than what they want us to be, better than them. And we have to shine for everyone else to follow. That's a choice. So I saw that. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him. I feel bad for him. I pity him. He screwed up royally, and now he is done. Because what's going to happen, first of all, they threw the book at this guy. So he's facing some serious problems. He's got a record, so there's going to be no leniency. And then he's got all these tweets. He's got a mountain of tweets saying, I'm inevitably going to shoot somebody. I'm inevitably going to kill one of you. How's that going to play in front of the judge? Not so funny now, huh? Let's say he goes to jail for 10 years. You think on year 8, he's going to feel good about his civil rights martyrdom to IRL stream and provoke people screaming and saying provocative things? I'm not so sure. So, yeah, it's very sad. And look, two wrongs don't make a right. We do have a problem with that other underclass. Let's not become like them. Let's rise above them. Let's separate from them. Let's focus on our goals. Let's try to take control of the situation. This does not help.
The fuck? Rise above the other class? And all that gobbledygook he said. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. Does that look like rising above the other class? Guess whose ass was here looking like a fucking spider monkey climbing on the side of the Capitol trying to invade it? Let me show you who it was. Him. Yeah, he was there. First, to say that Chud the Builder is a higher ranking individual than black people is just disrespectful to black people. Just downright disrespectful. For you to come out your mouth and think that you're higher than black people is just utterly disrespectful and stupid. Let me give you a history lesson. People like you came here and was complicit in robbing this country from the natives and stealing it from the queen. So who really is the gutter trash? Black people ain't do that. Y'all told the queen you was coming here to explore it for her. You get here, you like the country too much, you decide to steal it from her, and then you took it from the natives. That's guttural. That's what you just try to accuse black people of doing. Then you try to make it seem like you were nice about it by saying, oh, I don't like them talking loud in public. I don't like smelling weed. Oh, bad credit card debt. Nigga. The statistics clearly show more white people have worse credit than black people per capita. The statistics clearly show who is doing the majority of the hardest drugs in this country: fentanyl, cocaine, and all that. It ain't black people. And those drugs, mind you, are illegal. In a lot of states, smoking weed is legal, whether you like it or not, Mr. I'm going to have him go in front of the judge, and because of his record, he's going to get the book thrown at him. He should get the damn book thrown at his ass, Nick, at night, because he should have never been doing what he was doing, trying to provoke people, calling them monkeys and apes. Again, which group of people look like monkeys and apes? Me or you MFers standing out here hanging off the side of the Capitol? Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, let this be a lesson. People like Nick Fuentes, MTG, and other Republicans who pretend like they have found some silver lining in the Trump cloud, they're lying. They haven't found no silver lining. They disagree with some of Trump's policies, but ultimately they are still the bottom of the barrel deplorables that Hillary Clinton called them out to be. And I don't know why Nick came out against Chud the Builder. Maybe this was his way of trying to say he stands for law and order, his way of trying to sound good to his white followers. But here's the problem. The MAGA folks that follow him was upset that he even said this. So that should tell you just how low those MFers are that actually have the ability to vote. That's who we're fighting, ladies and gentlemen. That's who we're fighting. And that's who we have to keep the fight alive. And when the wheels of justice are able to get their asses, we got to keep them in the jail. Because for too long, criminal, judicial injustice has plagued the black community. We have been the butt of what colonizers, rich white men have said is what's bad in society, so that everybody looks at us while they're doing the stuff Chud the Builder was doing. This is a prime example of that. And then you get these fake ass evangelicals like Nick Fuentes trying to act like he's in the middle to some degree, or he's above the fray, pretending he actually cares, when folks, he's just as nutty as a cat in a bag of bats. So post your comments, man. Let me know what you think. Moving right along, folks. Jesus, man, I tell you. Can't believe it. I can't believe somebody is still giving him money to hear that type of bull jive. We're going to talk about Luigi Mangione. He's been in the news lately because some things have been going on with his trial, ladies and gentlemen. And the New York Post, ran by Republicans, I think now, caught up with 3 women who kind of side with Luigi. And I'm going to try to articulate a point in this so that people can understand maybe what was going on, how this could relate to you, and really, really get to what these women was trying to say, even though they said it in a very, very clunky way. Here we go.
Brian Thompson. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I want to say. Brian Thompson, his mom. That lady who said something on Inside Edition. I said what I said. I don't give a fuck.
His children are better off without him. They need to learn to not be like their dad and enjoy the blood money, kids.
They was harsh, ladies and gentlemen. They was extremely harsh. And what I have to say about this is nobody should be condoning any form of violence. But here's what colonizers, Republican, white, rich men have wanted society to condone. They want you to condone violence as long as it's not made violent. So if I stroke a pen and I can get you off health care because of money and you die, and not just you die, but several people die, just price doing business. That's not violent. It just is what it is. That's what they want you to swallow. But if Luigi Mangione comes and shoots somebody, kills them, takes away their dad and all that other stuff they want you to think, then that's bad. Folks, both of them are wrong. They're both just as wrong. If at the end of the day, we cannot sit here and say we are the richest country in the nation and we don't provide full health care for every citizen and full early childcare education at the expense of corporations making money. We would rather write people off health care when they get cancer, whatever, when we know that we have the ability to afford it, and we want to act like that's not murdering people. And I am not saying that Mangione was justified in doing what he's doing. What I am saying is, if somebody accosts your family, somebody comes in your house, literally breaks your daughter's ankle, she dies from that, you're going to want vengeance. You're going to want justice. And justice beyond criminal justice is what Mangione did. And everybody can relate to being upset about somebody hurting their family. And if the criminal justice system doesn't take care of it, you're going to want to do something. And again, I'm not saying that's right. But what I am saying is wrong is it shouldn't be that just because you are a pencil pusher, you sign documents that still kill families, that should be okay. It's not. We're not a poor nation. Or at least you let Trump and them tell it, we're the best nation. No, we're not. How are we the best nation when we act like we can't afford health care for everybody in the nation, but we can afford a $2 billion fucking ballroom? You see how this goes? You see the lies put into society by Mighty Whitey? That's another one. And at the end of the day, they should not be celebrating that these kids don't have a father. No matter how crooked and criminal he was, they shouldn't be celebrating that. But at the same time, these kids need to understand that their dad was the provocateur of other people losing their family members, their dads, their moms, their brothers, their sisters, their aunts, because they wanted to make money over providing the service that is desperately needed to keep people alive. Lobbying that the government can help with the funding of these corporations to keep healthcare going, but instead, no, we're lobbying to remove it so that we can make more profit. You understand how that goes, folks? Post your comments, let me know what you think. It's just, we've got to break up some of these societal embedded norms that have been put in place to keep us from critically thinking and having understanding of how stuff really works. Makes me sick. Next, ladies and gentlemen, these celebs are all coming out. And even though MAGA doesn't let you know it, these celebs are all coming out, ladies and gentlemen, against Trump. They don't like it. They don't like his cruelty. They don't like his racism. They don't like any of the bull jive Trump is doing. Another one that I absolutely adore, who's about to be in the new Batman, I think he's going to be Two-Face, is Sebastian Stan. He was in one of my favorite movies of all time, Civil War, Captain America. Here he is, kind of slamming Trump.
It's just not a laughing matter, to be honest. It isn't. You know, it's, I think we're in a really, really bad place. I really do. And to be honest with you, it's like, when you're looking at what's happening, right, which is, if we're talking about the consolidation of the media, censorship, the threats, the supposed lawsuits that seemingly never end but don't actually go anywhere, you know, the writing was on the wall. We encountered all that with the movie, you know, to the point where we were 3 days before the festival unsure if the movie was going to play at the festival. So, you know, it's... maybe people are paying attention more to that film. I think it will stand the test of time for that, but we went through all of it way before Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and so on, you know. So, wish it wasn't like that.
He did everything he could without coming out saying Trump, Larry, and David Ellison. But he's highlighting this merger takeover that Paramount is doing, which is run by David Ellison, Larry Ellison's son, to merge with Warner Brothers and basically control the media, control the stories. This is what dictators and fascists do, ladies and gentlemen. And MAGA and their lack of education are too blind to see what's going on because they want to believe that the citizens that they hate so much are the culprit of everything bad in America. And it's not, they can't look themselves in the mirror and say, maybe our mind is closed. Maybe we have our head too deep in the first 2 pages of the Bible and we might need to read a little further beyond that. They don't look at it like that. They just look at it as though we're going to listen to Fox News, we're going to listen to Trump, and we're going to believe that because the stereotypes we've been taught and because we don't get out of our bubble, we don't experience life outside these bubbles, we're going to believe that. And I wish Sebastian would have came out and said names, but we know who he's talking about if you're not in the Fox News bubble. Nobody wants this takeover, and hopefully the Democrats can stop the Warner Brothers takeover by Paramount, because they're already stifling movies, just as he said. They're already stifling stories. They're already complaining about we've had too much diversity, equity, and inclusion in film, when they forget that Black culture has been one of the biggest billion-dollar drivers of income for rich white dudes in the world. You forget that. And when you start seeing people who are Black controlling their culture or minorities, and they take you out of the equation, or you have to deal with them and their perspective, you don't want that. You want to be controlled. So, folks, let me know what you think, man. We need more celebrities coming out. My boy Mark Ruffalo has always been in the front lines, letting these things out. So shout out to him. And you'll keep getting these stories here from me too, ladies and gentlemen, because it's an atrocity, and we've got to find ways to overcome it. Next, I've got a little something from my boy DL and my girl Joy Reid, just on how Kamala was right, that if we put this man in office, him and the Supreme Court would ruin us. So first, let's take a look at what my boy DL Hughley had to say.
Everything she's saying, we saw. Everything she's saying has actually come to pass. But why is he more angry at a Black woman telling the truth than a white dude telling a lie? And you went all the way around. She's not the president of the United States of America. Her statements aren't in a position to impact us any way at all. They might be annoying if you believe things were going to be different, and they're not. But his lies right now have gotten 14 Americans today killed. His lies so far has cost us an economy. His lies so far have caused injuries and people to lose things. So you're mad at her telling you the truth, but you're not mad at his lies manifesting his ways in American lives in horrible ways all of the time. Like he said them, and I just wonder what kind of psychology you have where the powerless Black woman who only is an observer of the truth draws your ire more than the powerful white man who lies at every turn and has impacted our life. Why are we're on the brink of economic disaster right now? The whole of the world is laughing at us right now. Tariffs didn't work right now. There are more bankruptcies than any other point in our history. And you worried about her telling you what's going to happen.
That was DL on Stephen A. Smith, upset that Kamala has been going around telling people that she saw this coming. She didn't need a Hubble telescope to see it. She didn't need to have Stevie Wonder glasses to know this was going to happen. Well, one of the things that has been taken away that we don't hear is the Stephen A's coming out denouncing, or any of those de-knowledge Black dudes I'm always talking about. We don't hear them coming out saying anything to say, Kamala, you was right, we was wrong, we need to come together. Joy Reid breaks down what has happened with the loss of voting rights. That's something we've lost that's been big. Take a look.
Okay, so while I'm on the internet, why don't I also just summarize for you what the Supreme Court is saying in the Louisiana versus Calais case versus what they said in the Kavanaugh stops case. Basically, the Supreme Court has said you can use race to profile brown people on the street with accents to see if they are undocumented immigrants, but you cannot use race to draw congressional or state legislative districts so Black people can actually elect representatives of their choice who will represent their interests in the state legislature or in Congress. So you can use race to throw people out of the country by placing them in random vans and carting them off to concentration camps, but you can't use race to allow Black people to elect anyone to Congress. So what does that mean? Well, that means in states where Republicans control the governorship and the legislature, they will now likely begin to start eliminating not some, but likely all of the Black-held seats in both the state legislature and in Congress, starting with Louisiana, whose Governor Landry, is already looking to stop an election in progress to redraw the maps. And then, of course, good old Brian Kemp in Georgia, and of course, Ron DeSantis in Florida. But really, every red state, particularly in the South, where Republicans control the governorship and the state house, look for the Black seats to go bye-bye. That's right, friends. They're going to zero out all the Black seats, and probably the brown and Asian ones too. But they got to get to the Black ones first because, you know, racism.
Oh, Lord have mercy, folks. It's a rough day being a minority nowadays. And anytime I hear these type of stories, folks, it just makes me even more mad at that bitch that was the Latinas for Trump who got deported by ICE. I feel no pain for her. That's what your punk ass get. And when you hear these stories, it's not a surprise to Black people. It's not a surprise to me. This whole channel is dedicated to trying to express to everyone what I've been knowing, the deep, dark secrets that these white dudes had that for the longest time they would try to pretend they didn't have. And now Trump has given them a license to be outright with their racism, outright with their sexism, outright with their power grabs. I mean, did you see that map? It was like 4 seats out of the whole damn, like 50 seats. And you're trying to take those just to prove a point that the South shall rise. Folks, let me just tell you what we gotta have a reckoning. That reckoning has got to be exactly what AOC was running around saying over the weekend. The South has got to, the North has got to pull up to the bump of the South and crush them. We should have never let the Civil War kind of pass by with this unwritten doctrine. Well, certain things we're not going to go after to get along with our white folks in the South. No, we should have never done that. We should have stomped their traitorous asses out the way Germany stomped out Hitler and his folks. But America didn't want to do that because we just thought it would just go away. We just thought that these people had enough humanity that they would change. And what have we learned with electing Trump twice? No, they will not change. You have to force their asses to change. You have to force them to adapt to understanding that we are a melting pot. We are a group of people. Everybody needs to be treated like a human, because if you don't do that, there are going to always be those that feel like they're superior, and they're going to fight tooth and nail, cheat, and all kinds of other stuff to control it so that they can feel superior. So damn it, Democrats, take a lesson from history, recent history, that some of these people will not change, and you need to stop trying to placate the center as if that is going to help them change their behavior. And you have got to cut off the money with APAC, CPAC, 2PAC, wherever you're getting the packs of money from, and give the power back to not just you, the Democrats, but the people. And when you do that and you do policies that help the majority of the people, you will continue to have the power. People, some of them come belly aching. Like when Social Security was put in place, there were a lot of people belly aching. Oh, that's socialism, that's communism, I don't want it. Them same folks that was running their damn mouths are nowhere to be found right now. They are somewhere saying, don't you take my Social Security. And Democrats, this is what the Republicans know. But what you don't seem to know, or you're not willing to put in place so that you can win. Republicans know that if you give people stuff, they'll keep voting for you. Why do you think Elon Musk is in bed with Trump now? Why do you think all these Republican governors are in bed with Trump now? Because he's giving them the cover to avoid going to jail because they're in the Epstein files and probably in trouble in many other places. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, who had corporate investigations of their companies cheating and stuff like that. If you give people stuff, they will support you. Democrats, give the American people stuff. Give them equal justice. Give them their voting rights. Give them the ability to know that our criminal justice system is not just for poor and middle class. Give the American people health care so that they can have health to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. Give them child care so that their children can have the best education going forward to pursue those same things. Democrats, you give people stuff, they will vote for you. That's all the Republicans do, and they are able to turn around and pretend like they're not doing that. And their messaging system has been working better because you're not out here saying how helping people pay for childcare is going to improve their life, how people having good health care is going to improve their life, how you don't give a damn what rich person says is socialism because they are the benefactors of socialism and using it to the hilt and have been doing it for years. Democrats, get your asses out there and make these stories. It shouldn't just be me. And if you're going to keep me doing it, give me some duckies. I'm here for you. Post your comments, folks. Let me know what you think. Final story we're going to cover, ladies and gentlemen. Elon Musk attacked one of our sisters, Lupita Nyong'o. And you all know on this channel, we will not tolerate any attacks on our sisters. We will not have it. And we know why white men want to attack our sisters, because our black sisters are the worst nightmare to white men. You want me to tell you why? It's in their DNA. Who took down the Greek Empire, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony? May I remind you, it was a black woman, Cleopatra. And this is the most horrible depiction of her. She was not light-skinned. Here's a better picture of Cleopatra. There she is. Her pussy was so good, ladies and gentlemen, that she had these two white leaders of the Greek Empire fighting for her. And she was able to divide that nation and conquer it. And that DNA has been in European men ever since. And so that'll lead you to understanding why racist as Elon Musk is attacking Lupita. And so before we get into his attacks, let's hear some other things that's running through Elon's mind spoken by an ex-girlfriend. Take a look at this.
Here's Elon's ex blowing the whistle on something really disturbing.
Elon tells me that he is ready to release his, in his words, anomaly in the matrix. And I am like, oh, like, who's that? And he says that he has 10,000 lasers in space, referring to his satellites. And he says, you know, this is not a piece that they'll see on the chessboard. I straight up tell him, I would ask more, but I really don't want to be deposed. To which he says, very wise. He told me over text, he's like, yeah, I knew hours ago that Trump won. My team has the best real-time data anywhere. First of all, how the fuck do you have real-time data on elections? I saw some shit.
Listen to this and tell me if you think Elon should be investigated thoroughly.
Now, folks, what did I just say about rich white dudes? They are the primary beneficiaries of stuff. And Elon Musk was under several investigations before Trump got in office, and he made the pact with the devil to avoid being investigated. Well, now he's calling out one of our most beautiful black sisters, Lupita, because she's going to be in the movie Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan, and she's going to portray more of a European skin-colored woman, and they can't handle that. So take a look at the B-roll I got from my boy Charles Stabansky. His link is in video description. He's going to give you an overview of what's going on. Then I'm going to give you some rebuttal.
People are losing their minds. But one of the people specifically that's losing his mind is Elon Musk. And we have a bunch of different articles and things that we want to read from. So let's just start here. This one is from TMZ, but we have a lot more. It says, Elon Musk, Lupita isn't pretty enough. Magnifies online Odyssey casting gripes. Then continues on. Elon Musk is firing shots at director Christopher Nolan over his upcoming movie, The Odyssey, joining in with the chorus of trolls on X who are bitching it's an insult that Lupita was cast to Helen of Troy, aka the legendary beauty of Greek mythology. It then continues on. Now here you see the post. True. And then he's responding to someone else. It says, to be eligible to win Best Picture at the Oscars, at least one non-white, non/straight lead or significant role, at least 30% minor roles, non-white / non-straight people, at least two departments headed by non-white, non-straight people. This is why Nolan did it, coward. And then and Elon responded to that. Then continues on. The Tesla billionaire and owner of X went on a spree of retweeting to his 240 million followers, posts accusing Nolan of being a coward for casting Lupita in a supposed attempt to boost chances to win awards, including one post by conservative commentator Matt Walsh claiming no one person on the planet sees Lupita as the most beautiful woman in the world. Sure. And then it just goes on. And then it says Elon Musk endorsed Matt Walsh's other dopey X post, which argued Nolan knew he would have been slammed as a racist if he cast a white actress instead, even comparing the outrage to casting Sydney Sweeney as the most beautiful woman in Africa. And there you have it here. This is the post from Matt Walsh. It says, we were told that we shouldn't object to Helen of Troy being portrayed as a black woman. And yet, if a major Hollywood studio made a film set in Africa and cast a white woman as the most beautiful woman in Africa, those same people would literally riot in the street. if, say, Sydney Sweeney was cast in that role, they'd be driven to murderous violence. We all know that this is the case. And then it continues on. And Elon wasn't done there, retweeting a meme suggesting Nolan is basically stomping all over Homer's grave. That's the author of the ancient Odyssey epic, what the movie is based on, with the cast of choice. And then it just goes on and goes on and goes on to say that. Then we have that post there. Then I want to share a post here that Elon Musk put up, and it says a glaring obvious double standard. Now look at the photograph. It says,
so Elon Musk is trying to say that if we had famous black people that were portrayed by white people, we'd be upset. Folks, this is called history. We didn't start getting black people portraying black people probably until damn near the civil rights movement. Up until then, it was whiteface. And even after that, it was whiteface. We had movies where Native Americans was literally white guys painted up. That's what we had. That's what we had. Secondly, it goes to show you that these guys, they know they're racist, or they always try to tell you that there's no such thing as racism when we know that there is, because when they get up and look in the mirror, how many of them can actually say that they are okay with everybody mixing, and that they would be willing, with everybody's mixing, to only take money from white guys? Not many. They want money from everybody. And their problem with Lupita Nyong'o is, like I said in the very beginning, what beautiful black woman in Africa was able to separate white dudes, and it's been in their DNA ever since? Cleopatra, folks. That ugly depiction. This is Cleopatra. And so when you take a look at Lupita, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But sometimes some people have multi-million beholders. Take a look at this woman. Take a look at Lupita. Y'all see that? Y'all see that beautiful chocolate? I can tell you right now, half of those white dudes that's hating on her would love to put their face in between her place and let her dominate them, they punk asses. Look at that. Folks, that is a beautiful woman. I mean, just ain't nothing more beautiful than that type of dark skin on a human. Hence, Trump getting up trying to tan his ass every day. Hence, most white people going to get tans. And for Elon Musk to actually pick this up as a fight on Twitter, it just shows you how deranged he is, how racist he is, and how much his ass needs to be investigated when we get Democrats back in office. But folks, you don't just need me, who you can always come to this channel. I will defend my beautiful sisters. Whoopi Goldberg had a lot she had to say about Elon Musk's ass. Take a look at what Whoopi had to say.
Elon Musk is weighing in on rumors that Christopher Nolan has cast Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy in the big screen version of the Greek poet Homer's epic, The Odyssey. Now, Musk claims that Nolan has lost his integrity. Ooh, you know, because Homer described this fictional character as fair-skinned blonde who was so beautiful that men started a war over here. I don't know if you realize this. Lupita is also considered one of the world's most beautiful women. So I'm not sure what you're trying to say.
Whoopi know what he's trying to say. He's just trying to say that he's racist, and that if he was to get in bed with a woman like this, he wouldn't know what the fuck to do. He probably would nut in the first 2 minutes just looking at this beautiful chocolate skin. I showed y'all in the very beginning of this video the type of woman Elon Musk likes to date. Remember, this is the same man that has a ketamine addiction, same man that has a penile implant that does not work. Now, I can believe he saw this woman naked. That penile implant will be working like hell, ladies and gentlemen, but it does not work now. And I'm going to tell you why it doesn't work. Because you got hate in your heart. And when you have that level of hate in your heart, a lot of things on your body ain't going to work. Now, what bothers me about Elon Musk, folks, on top of his racism, I own a Tesla. And sadly, folks, I'm here to tell you I would never give up that car. not because I detest him, but until America stops with crony capitalism, they're able to bring the Chinese EV cars here. I'll switch then, but for now, I'll keep it because it's the best one going with the supercharger network. My protest to Elon is a sticker on the car that says, I got it before I found out he was racist, which I did, 2019. But that's part of the problem. Listen to what I just said. Elon Musk and the government are keeping another car that would be better than Tesla out of the country, made by a Chinese provider. Racism. They don't like black women on the surface. Racism. And why do they not like black women, folks? Again, because black women are their worst nightmare, their biggest fear, because black women took down one of the most powerful nations ever, the Greek Empire, Cleopatra. When Julius Caesar and them thought they was going to take their ass to Africa and take over, they saw this woman and her black ass and them panty draws was so fine, they threw it up in the air, turned to sunshine, and boom, there goes an empire. And they are afraid that that's what would happen here in America. Hence is why 92% of the black women that were highly educated voted for Kamala, and those men to this day continue to try to put down our sisters. So Whoopi, it's easy. He's a racist. And he's afraid of black women. He knows the power of black women. He knows the resiliency of black women. And no white guy in power wants to see that because they are afraid of them more than they are afraid of black men. Because they can easily manipulate black men. Easily. But these dark, beautiful sisters like this, they can't manipulate them. And if anything, these highly intelligent, highly beautiful humans can manipulate them into doing stuff that they really don't want to do, so they fear them. And so, folks, I will be going to see the Odyssey. I don't have a problem with it. It's a fictional character, as she said. We need a better movie with Cleopatra, a real character who is black, with two white dudes who succumb to her. That's what we need to see. So, Christopher Nolan, get up on that. And, folks, that's going to do it for this video. Please check out Joy Reid. Please check out my boy Charles Tabansky. His link is in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow. I will go back stock trading again at 9:30. I had another win today. If you ever want to learn my system, you can get a one-on-one with me. There's my link at calendly.com/Lamont Tyson. And if you just want to see how I trade, please come check me out, 9:30. I will be doing my live stream, folks, tomorrow at 8 p.m. for politics instead of noon. I have a special guest coming on. Would love for you guys to come check me out at 9 p.m. And I'm kind of interested to see how the live crowd shows up in the afternoon. And until that next Sexy as Hell video, I'm out.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.